Hi, Stampers. Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, coming to you from my studio in Red Lodge, Montana. If you're out there, let me know so that you can hear and see me. I would appreciate that. It always helps if I have some idea as to if people can hear and see me. So if you give me a thumbs up or even a comment would be good. So I hope everybody's having a good evening. I will tell you, summer hit Red Lodge this week. So like last week, I was in Oregon. So I was out visiting my daughter in Oregon. And while I was there, they had like a whiteout snowstorm up at the mountain. And, you know, people that were headed into Yellowstone got stuck up there and kind of crazy. And they had an avalanche up there where people go up there and ski. Oh, thank you, Marianne. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me and see me. Cool. I appreciate that. Have fun with your daughter in California. That's awesome. So anyway, we had this avalanche and this whiteout, and then boom. Hey, Terry. Cool. Ah, great, Dahlia. I'm glad you're here. Dahlia's here for the first time, she says. So anyway, and then yesterday it started to warm up, and hey, Jean, I heard that you saw Georgia. I was out there too. I was up in Newport. So that's awesome. Anyway, so summer hit and now we have, 70-degree days and the sun is shining and I planted all my gardens today and I got a little sunburned, I see. And the river down the road here is rocking. Hey, Ria, how are you? We need to go to lunch one of these days. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. If you have questions, please put them up in the comments section. That would help me. And if you have a question, somebody else probably has the same question. And if I can't answer it, I will find an answer. I know at the last 2 weeks ago when I did this on Thursday night, the very last comment I saw as I hit finish was somebody said you changed your stamp room. So my stamp room is basically the same room. I just cleaned it out, had it painted, and had new flooring put down. And then I rearranged. So all of my stamping stuff is down at this end of the room. Everything is right here. My desk, my computer, my stamps, my inks, everything's right here. In fact, you can see, if I turn this, you can see my punches and my inks and everything. And then the other side of the room, I don't know. I used to have this set up like a classroom with a big table and lots of chairs. And I did classes here all the time for years. And I haven't done classes here since long, long, long before COVID. So I decided that I didn't need to have this big of a room for my stamp room. I'm glad you got to see Georgia and Mark. Yeah, they came up to Newport to visit and see my daughter's house. That was kind of cool. So anyway, my room is different. I thought that I was gonna not have so much stuff and not be so cluttered, and then I see it's filling up. But that's all right, because that just means I'm busy. When I did my room, when I did the floor and the paint, I wasn't even sure if I was, I knew I'd keep doing Stampin' Up because I'll always be a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I just will. But I wasn't sure if I was going to go back into doing lives and whatnot. And so anyway, we just you readjust and those things happen. That's how life is. So anyway, I've got some stuff to show you quickly and then I got a lot of stuff to show you actually. Here's a card that, I got to switch my camera. Hold on. All right, this card here, sorry, was sent to me by Maureen. I like that she did this because that means that I then can use this, but I like to send my cards out to people, especially my customers that just have a note in there. And that way you can use it for something else. But this is a great little card. She used some of the new designer series paper, a great punch, some self-adhesive glimmer dots, I believe, and the ribbon. And I'm sure that this probably was my packet from my packet that I sent out for anybody that ordered in. I'm having a hard time remembering what month it is. So anyone that ordered in April got that packet. And if you stick around tonight, I've got a couple of them I want to give away. And then I got this one from Leanne, which is a really cute card. I love how she took a piece of 6x6 designer series paper and cut it into 3 different pieces. The measurements on here are, yeah, so it looks like they're 2 inches. So 2, 2, and 2 by, I'm going to guess either 5 1/4 or 5 and might be 5 3/8. Let me check. Sorry. No, it looks like it's 5 1/4. So just a really cute card. Now this card, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, and then she scored it again at 2 3/4. 2 1/8. Scored it at 2 1/8, and that's halfway between the 4 1/2 mark here. So really a super simple card, but very nice. So thank you, Leanne. All right, so I've got some cards that I'm going to show that I made. This is, I have little notes over here too. You can kind of see them because I don't want to forget anything tonight. But like I said, if you have questions, pop them up in the comments. And if I don't see it or don't answer it, just ask it again when I pop back up on the screen. So these cards were made using the Thoughtful Journey stamp set. No, the Thoughtful Journey paper and the Unbounded Love stamp set. Let me show that. So that's this paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's unbelievably gorgeous. And this stamp set, which absolutely, this is one of the best dies sets that we have right now. I mean, I like a lot of stuff, but this one has all these different labels and they kind of go together so you can mix and match. And you know, like this piece here, I'll show you when I show you the cards, but a lot of different pieces, and some of these actually have, like this one here has a frame that pops out of it. It's like, or this one has a frame that pops out of it. It looks like that. This is a complete frame. You have all these nice little pieces. Anyway, it's a great stamp set. So that's where these cards came from. And then on this one, I used the ribbon pack. That's the petal pink and white. And I'm not sure. It's this one here. Number up here in the corner. Anyway, and then some sparkly gems, which you can see, they're pretty. This paper, though, is just so pretty. But, like, this is one of those labels. And then this is a tiny label. It's got little dot marks on it, too. It's a cute card. Here's another one. Using a label and then a vine. And then a couple of extra leaves on the side there. Cute card. Oh, and that has... So this was a piece of cardstock, or, excuse me, designer series paper. It got cut down, and then I put a piece inside to decorate the inside of your card. This one had the inside of the card decorated too. Cute. Here's one. This was a fun card to make, using the labels, and this one uses the wheat paper. But when you open this up, it's pretty fancy. So this piece you get to use and see both sides of the paper, which is nice. And then this was just another piece layered behind that country corners, is that what it's called, die? Which I'll be honest with you, I hadn't used for a long time. Okay, I'm going to show this one last. So this is my favorite one. Super simple. This is a country corners die. That's just a piece of paper stamped with a sentiment and a couple of gems. And again, decorated the inside with some of the same paper. The back of those papers. Now this one, this is the fanciest one. It uses 2 labels, so they're layered. You can see the layers up there with the dimensional. It's got some of the ribbon. It's got some of the sparkle gems. And then you open this up, and it's very similar to the one that Leanne made, using a sheet of 6x6 paper and then an extra piece. But wait, there's more. Then this one opens up. So it's kind of a book. But just a really fun different fold. I like it. I like that one a lot. So, all right. Oh, good. Jenny's finally going to watch with me tonight from Massachusetts. All right. So, those of you who ordered the Go to Market class kit, those were all shipped out. I'm trying to think. Tuesday. I shipped them all Tuesday. And hopefully you're getting them because I shipped them priority, so you should be getting them. But this was a really fun class. I'm actually going to do this class locally here in Red Lodge next week. So if you're close, come and join me. We're going to make one of each of these cards in that class. Now the class to go kit, they got to make 2 cards, 2 of each, and a box. And somewhere the box is, I don't know. But I wanted to show these cards because I absolutely love this paper. You know, the plaid is it, and then this is all just the cutouts of the designer series paper. So stinking cute. And these I actually decorated the inside too. I don't think I decorated the inside on this one. Decorated my envelopes. The class to go kits have envelopes too, so that's nice. And you can have coordinating envelopes. There, and this one has it on the inside too, so I love that. Love that. So let's see where we are. We're starting a week of gorgeous weather here in Portland, Oregon. That's awesome, Jana. So last week when I was out in Newport, we had some beautiful days, some sunshine. You know, it's on the coast. You don't always get sunshine. But when you do, it's beautiful. And then like Sunday, all day, it rained 24 hours straight. But that's all right. I had a lot of things I wanted to get done around her apartment or her condo. And it gave me time to finish up and let the paint dry. But before I left, I came home on Monday, late Monday night. So it was just a short trip. I went Thursday through Monday. She's coming home in a couple weeks, I think in July maybe, or she talked about July. So, okay. Anyway, what else? Oh, this month's tutorial. So it's a new month. I will tell you too that those people who ordered from me in May, the box of supplies came today for me to put together the card kits for the May tutorial, which was that the sky? Sorry. The one with the plane. Adventurous Sky? I think it was. Yeah, I don't know. It all kind of blends together after a while. So anyway, so those kits will be going out probably tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, Saturday. And so you'll get your packet. So when I do a tutorial for the month, anybody that places an order with me gets the tutorial for the month, no matter what size your order is. And I send you a link and a thank you. And then those of you who order $50 or more, at the end of the month, I place an order for supplies for you to make all the projects in my tutorial. And so you get designer series paper, the embellishments, the ribbon, the cardstock I used, enough supplies to do everything. I don't supply any stamped images because that's against policy. But anyway, so this is the tutorial for June. I'm gonna have to write myself a note. What month is it? Uses the country flower set, which is right here. This one here, and the dies, which I have probably a mess. But you know, you get dies for the step stool, the containers, the teapot, the flowers, the greenery. They're all in there. The whole bunch of dies. And I used them all here. Little banner. Anyway, so this is card number 1. Misty Moonlight is the cardstock that I used for this base. I used both. Let me pull up that because there's 2 different kinds of papers in this. So this is it. The Country Flowers is the stamp set that I use, but I use both kinds of papers. So your kit, I will send you both papers. And I usually cut them 6x6, or 4 by 12, depending on how I use them in the cards. So I make sure you have enough. And I used some of the, what are they called? Smoky slate pearls, basic gray and smoky slate pearls. So you'll get those too. All right, so this one, as you can see, it just uses, I use paper for all of the little containers. Hey, Linda from Virginia. Colored with blends. Use some pool party in the back there. This one uses the new color, basic beige, which I love. It's really a cool color. It's really amazing. This one uses, is that petal pink? Whatever color matches, coordinates that paper. Again, blends, and I use the wood to do the vase. And you'll get some of the petal pink and the white ribbon, which might be out right now, but I think by the time these kits go out, there'll be plenty. I've got this one just used die cuts from the die cuts and cardstock, but you can see how you get a little dots and dashes in there. Give them a little texture. I use the embossing folder in the back there. It's an eyelet embossing folder. I use the eyelet embossing folder on this one too. I think, there you go. Now you can see it. It's pretty. This one I want to show you. So I did some coloring on this one. You see this little stool here? And what I didn't care for was my stool had white going all around it. And it just kind of, I don't know, it looked funky to me. So I took the same color Pool Party marker blends, and I just colored the die cut out. See, you can see the die cut's cut blue. But I just liked how it made it, I don't know, sink into the card better. I don't know why it bothered me. It never has before, but that particular day it did. And if you look closely at the flowers here, I actually colored them the light Pool Party in the background, just to tone down that white a little bit. Again, this one's Misty Moonlight. And the stamps. So I didn't put any things on the inside. I usually put a white piece inside here, especially on dark cardstock, and maybe a little stamped image just for the fun of it. But I didn't. All right. I do have stamping, but I have to show you what I made this week. So one of the things that Stampin' Up has is they have an artisan team, and that's really creative people that get to make stuff with Stampin' Up stuff. And they post it up like on their Instagram or whatnot. Oh, good. Thanks, Rhea. That ribbon is available again. So, so this was one of the things, I don't know, there, I guess you can see it that way. This was one of the things that one of the artisan people had made. It's similar. It's not exactly the same. And I wanted to make one because I thought it was so cute. And I didn't have any window sheets. In fact, they're in the box that came today. So I just used, actually used a clear envelope. And so I could actually tuck pictures in there if I chose to. They had stamped, probably with StazOn on the cello, but they use window sheets. I just was afraid to because with the cello or the clear envelopes are so slick. I didn't want to smear it once I had it all done. But I just thought this was really cute, really fun. Pretty easy. I used a die cut to cut out the middles. These are all, I don't know, they're like 5 by 5 squares. I used the stylus shapes to cut out the square. I actually pasted the designer series paper, the wood designer series paper, onto some of our chipboard and just had fun coloring. And then on the back here, I wanted to show you, so I used some ribbon that I had here, and I don't know if you can see the tape. So I put the ribbon all the way up, but I wanted to make sure that it stayed in these areas. It's got sticky, it's got tear and tape going this way, but I didn't want them to fall apart when I actually hang this. And so I just took a piece of tearing tape and went right across the ribbon on both sides, just to hold it, tack it down, and make sure it's not going anywhere. And then I added some little linen bows, linen thread bows. Anyway, I love it. I think I'm going to teach or do a class kit to go with the country flowers and the country birdhouse because it's so stinking cute. All right. The one other thing I want to show you, this is the class for this month. So my classes come out usually about the 15th of the month is when I announce them and put up all the information. And I leave registration open for a couple weeks, and I try to get them, like the products ordered before the end of the month so that I can get product out fast. So like this particular month, they ended at the end of the month ordering, and end of May, I had their kits going out on June 4th, which was amazing. I actually did expedited shipping because I wanted to make sure they got, I promised that they'd get them out, and I wanted to get them out, and things kind of got bogged down for a while there in May with that free shipping. And so anyway, I got them out. So there you go. So Mediterranean Blooms is my June class. I think these turned out fabulous. Mediterranean Blooms is in the catalog. Oh, and just to mention, this month's sale is 10% off all bundles with dies. So this would be a bundle with a die, Mediterranean Blooms. Your bundle set is here. So it's regularly $62. It's probably, take 10% off, take what, $6 off, so, or $6.20 if you want to be precise, but that's a good deal. Anyway, I love this. This was one of those things that stood out to me the first time I saw the catalog. So Mediterranean Blooms. All right, so that's what I used, and I think I didn't use very much ink. So like I used Night of Navy for sure, and I used a little stylish shape die because I use those all the time. And then just so you're aware, this back here, I actually colored my cardstock first with the blends and then ran it through the Big Shot. What I wanted was, I wanted it to be lighter and have a little bit of texture to it than the actual cardstock. So I used, I don't know, I probably used like light to old olive or something like that. Anyway, I just wanted it to be lighter. Cute. I love this. And I made envelopes. So when you do a class kit to go, you get all the supplies to make 2 cards. So all the cardstock, anything that I cut out with dies that aren't included in the bundle, I put those in there. You get half a pack of the 12 by 12 paper, and I keep it 12 by 12 size. I don't really like to cut it down to 6 by 12 and give you 2 half sheets, because it's always fun to get a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. You can do so much with it. Any embellishments in the linen thread. I haven't put the class together yet. I don't know what it's going to cost, but when I do that, I bundle together this one will have bundled together blends and the bundle, which I offer up to anybody that takes the class, with free shipping, free tax, with your order for the class. So you can add on to it. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. But I do that with like the blends and ink pads and the bundle. So this one uses, this actually is very similar to one in the catalog. Decorated the inside, decorated my envelope to coordinate. Remember, you get 2 of each. This is fun. This is just a big die that's in the Mediterranean Blooms dies, and I colored with blends the oranges. Decorated the inside. I always use that DSP. This one I actually cut from the paper using this one. I think I might have cut that out. I'm not sure if that has a die with it. Some of the paper does have dies that go with it. Decorated my envelope, decorated the inside of my card. This one I loved. I don't know who started this trend, but I love this trend with the different colors of paper. And then this one too is cut from paper. And then the inside has a little slip of paper. We love those lemons. This one I colored. I was going to put a label or something here. I just haven't done that. And I think it was because it got so late that night. So this one is colored. So some of them are colored and some of them are cut out of catalogs. So there you have it. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but that orange does look good enough to eat. The lemons make your mouth pucker, Jana. I love the blends. And I'm not like a professional blend colorer, but it's not, people make it harder than it needs to be. It's not that hard. All right, so that's all of my show and tell. Now we're gonna get down. Oh, I got one more show and tell. I guess I lied. Sorry. All right, we're gonna talk about paper pumpkin. Couple reasons why. Because I did the cards this month and I thought they were adorable. So these are the cards. You got 3 of each. I don't know if you're a paper pumpkin subscriber. Sometimes you can sometimes get bonus. You know, go purchase kits after the certain. Ooh, did I lose anybody? I don't know. I just did something to my computer, so hopefully you guys can still see. Just a second. I gotta get it like put a double camera in there. So I hope that didn't happen. All right, so these are the paper pumpkin. I love them. Very cute. And I just did those just as they came and then did the envelopes. Because sometimes I just need something to stamp that I don't have to think about. This is something I was going to give away tonight. The Happy Father's Day to You stamp. So the next person that places an order with me, it doesn't matter when, but the first person that places an order with me will get this stamp set. I'll pop it in the mail to you. Put that by my computer so I don't forget. Alrighty. So tonight, when we were down in Mexico, we got a kit from Stampin' Up. This is the Expressions of Kindness kit. This kit actually came out to everybody yesterday. It was there's 2 kits. There's this one, and then there's also a journal or a scrapbook, book. A scrapbook book? No. Anyway, a book that you could put pictures in, photos in, and journal. Anyway, it came. I didn't realize this was the one. I thought this one was coming out in July, but it came out yesterday. And I want to show a couple of things because kits are really fun to have, and they come with instructions. So this one does 8 cards, 4 of each, with envelopes. But wait till you see this paper. And then all the instructions are actually words and pictures. I mean, right down to where to put your dimensionals, where to put your adhesive. The colors that coordinate, they tell you on this page what products go with what card. And then back here, they tell you the colors that coordinate. And I'm going to show you a couple things tonight that I'm going to do with this kit because there's such good paper. I don't want to just make it the back of a card. So the colors that coordinate with this particular kit is Blackberry Bliss, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Petunia Pop, Wild Wheat, and Gold. So you knew it would be a favorite because it's Blackberry Bliss and Lost Lagoon, 2 of my absolute favorite colors. So this one came with ribbon. It's nice. It's a white ribbon. You get the stamp, the spot. I'm going to open it. So when I open my spots, I just cut down there. Probably shouldn't do that with my scissors. It didn't work. My scissors are probably very dull. All right, so you're going to cut right down that edge. And it just kind of, it's not that hard really. Oh. Always getting ink on me. Always. Anyway, so ink spot is just an ink pad with Blackberry Bliss ink. Every kit comes, if they have stamping, it comes with it. It comes with these really cool, sparkly gems. Dimensionals, a little sheet of dimensionals. This is adhesive, which I don't normally use, but I'm going to use it tonight. And then you get a block. So if your kit has stamping in it, you're going to get a block. And then this stamp set, let me grab a piece of white paper so you can see what this stamp set says. Okay, it says, wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Just a note. Kindly deliver to, and then a hashtag, a hash mark stamp. And then this is actually part of the flower, and I'll show you how that works. When you look at these online, I think this kit was $23, which I don't think is terrible. Because after you're done, you still have an ink spot and stamp set. And all right, so it's gold foil. You can see how shiny and sparkly that is. I pulled some stuff out today just so you wouldn't have to see me searching through stuff. Labels that are already die cut, you just have to stamp them and cut them out. These frames are gold, so they're shiny and sparkly. More die cuts. Look at how intricate these are. They're so delicate, but they're all cut out. So it's super easy. I'll put that one aside so I don't get that all mucked up. Your card bases. So you get 4, look like this, and I don't know if you can see this, but it looks like it has texture on it. And then they're scored. You're just going to do it. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm actually going to do the cards as they have done them, and then I'm going to switch it up and do 2 cards that I'm going to off the cuff going to make different. I don't know how much different, but anyway, I wanted you to see this. And this is the reason that because a lot of times I do kits, I just do them just exactly. But I want you to see this paper. This is the front of your card, and it's got gold embossing in there, right? And then when you fold it, it's beautiful. But the back is just as beautiful, even though it doesn't have gold. I want to use this like a piece of designer series paper. So I'll just make more cards. That's the plan. But wait till you see the envelopes. So the envelopes are printed. You get 4 of each. They're just beautiful. Look at that one. I know some people are like pulling this one apart and using it for designer series paper, but I'm going to use them for envelopes because I can. All right, so there's a kit. Now, these little boxes, keep those because they're great for organizing your supplies. They'll hold like 8.5 by 5.5 pieces of cardstock. Same size as a paper pumpkin box, and I want to show you what I do with mine. So this is my paper pumpkin box, and I use it to store all of my plates for my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So I just wanted to point that out. It's great because it's a little bit heavier of a box, and then I'm not searching for plates. I kind of just keep them all in the box by me. And just so you're aware, the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, both of them, oh, there's 3 of them actually, and the mini cut, they're on 10% off too on that sale. So just so you're aware. All right, let's get stamping because that's what you came to see. All right, so let's start with, I'm going to start with this one. Put that aside for now. This is probably the easier one to stamp. So we're going to use one of these labels. This is kind of cute too. I didn't notice that till today, but you see how the label matches up with the stamped image? It's kind of cool. All these little details that they have. All right, so we're going to start by pulling this off. Put your hashtag, it's not hashtag, but you know, the hash marks. Now, if I were doing this just for myself at my table, I would actually pull out my Blackberry Bliss ink. But I decided, nope, I'm going to show you how to open the spots. The spots are great because they can be re-inked. There's a couple hashtags or hash marks. They can be re-inked just like our regular pads. So Stampin' Spots are great. Hang on to them. You get one in paper pumpkin. You get them in, put that there. I'm going to lay this back down here, and I know that it's dirty, but I'm only going to use the Blackberry Bliss ink tonight. So if I need to use it for something else, I know it already has Blackberry Bliss ink on it. I'm going to ink up my flower. And then what you do is you just coordinate it up with the flowers that are already there. And it truly makes them look different. Because it's, you know, it looks watercolored. Just gives them a little bit more detail. I'm going to do this one too. By the end of this, I will have Blackberry Bliss ink on every finger. I'm going to flip this over, and only because I can, I'm going to snap the back of this. Eventually, I might not keep this card together like this. I might cut off the back and layer it onto another one and make a card. I haven't decided yet. I know. Such decisions. That. And if you miss it, do it again. And then that. So there's the stamping on the card base. going to take my little frame here. This is going to end up being a birthday card. I'm going to take the flower off that. Wipe that off on my jeans. Ink up my birthday stamp. You can practice once just to make sure you get a good image. Sometimes that's a good idea. Sometimes it's good to use the piece of cardboard that comes in the kits as a cushion for your photopolymer stamps. I don't normally because I'm a pretty heavy-handed stamper. And I usually stamp hard enough that I get a pretty good image. So that's pretty cool. Now, once you've done that, you're going to take your label and your ribbon. The envelopes are gorgeous, and you certainly could make use them as designer series paper. This is a fabulous kit. I just love it. We've actually requested of Stampin' Up to start selling us refills for the kits because they're so pretty. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 6 1/4 inches of ribbon and I'm going to fold it like that. So it's going to end up looking something like that. I'm probably going to clean up my ends because they got kind of mucky. So once I've done that, I'm going to hold that there, but I'm going to use dimensionals to hold that ribbon in place. So I want to make sure it has a loop there. I want to make sure it separates, right? So you put a little dimensional here. These tiny little sheets of dimensionals, I just love them. Any of the kits that come with them, it's like, because you always get more than you need, and you always get, all right, so that's going to hold my ribbon in place. I don't know if you can see that because it's white on white on white. So just so you make sure you get, you know, edges of the ribbon, I'm going to place this on my card, right where those marks are. I'm going to actually get out my good ribbon scissors because I want to trim up these ends and make them look decent. And I knew my snips wouldn't cut it because I need to sharpen them. Sorry, my hands are totally in the way. There. Cute card. Okay, so then when you've got that done, this is like the easiest card ever. Then you're going to take some of these sparkly gems, and they use a whole bunch, but I don't know if I'm going to use a whole bunch because I want to save some for the next card that I make, and I can always add more. So there is, you see the sparkle gems? And then you've got your envelope. And I love this. You have this stamp that says, kindly deliver to. It's so cute. I'm going to stamp it on my envelope. Ta-da! I love it. I just think it's so pretty. Super easy. Super fun. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside. I am going to use the back of that one after I made it. All right, so we're going to bring in this card base, and as like I said, it has like a texture background to it, which is kind of cool. This one's going to use that very fragile die cut that I cut out. Oh, sorry. Every time I bump my light, it changes what it is. All right, so I'm going to use this very fragile die cut, and I'm going to use a gold one too. These are so on these, this is kind of cool. Like somebody pointed out today, oops, don't want to rip it. Somebody pointed out today, you can use them as gold, or you can flip them over and add color to them, or keep them white. They're kind of cool. So, all right, so let's get to stamping this one. I'll put this back. Pull out my flower again. This one, I'm going to stamp this flower right on this die cut. You certainly don't have to do that, but I like the texture that it gives it. All right, so once I've done that, then I'm going to take a label. These are cute. Like I said, they're embossed with gold. We're going to do just a note. So we use every stamp in the kit. Blackberry Bliss ink. Cute. You do get a couple of extra labels in case you mess it up or in case you want to use it for a different card. So that's up to you. Oops, sorry. God. So this glass mat, I like it. Don't get me wrong. However, I have a tendency to drop my blocks constantly, and it's so loud. It's crazy. So Stampin' Up! Just announced this week that the glass mat is available for demonstrators right now, and it will be available for customers. I'll stamp my envelope. And if I wanted to, I could stamp my watercolored envelope, but I don't think I will on this one. I just want to make it look different. So anyway, Stampin' Up! Just announced that the glass mat will be available for customer purchase next month. All right, so what you're going to do on this is I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it over. These are little adhesive dots. And I didn't always like them. However, now I do, because they're easy to use and they stick well. Sometimes they stick to your finger too well. All right, so I'm going to put a little dot there, and I don't really have a lot because I kind of want to leave it so it's real airy, I guess would be the word. I'm going to take this. I'm going to attach it to this. And you could go either way on this one. You could go you can go gold on top, or you can actually flip it around and do gold on the bottom. And probably the next one I'll do gold on the bottom so I can actually see which one I like the best. All right. Next, I'm going to take my little just a note. And again, we're going to use 6 1/4 inches of ribbon. I'm measuring it down here. The only reason I'm measuring it is because I want to have extra. Sometimes when I get a roll of ribbon and there's 8 projects, I will just unroll it, fold it till I know when I snip it I'll have 8 pieces. Hope that makes sense. Just makes it fast to get your 8 pieces. However, because I'm going to try to make probably more like 12 cards with this, I was hoping that I didn't use up all the ribbon and I'd have some for the other cards. We'll see. I will post the finished products on my website when I'm done with them, which that means it could be any time between tonight and next week sometime. This depends on what's going on. I got a lot of yard work to do and clean up, so. I had a guy come by the shop earlier this summer and asked me if I wanted him to mow my lawn. And I said, no. I need to mow my lawn. It's not that bad. I kind of like it. And then I mowed my lawn the first few times and I was like, what was I thinking? I like to mow my lawn. No, it's good exercise. But I have a huge yard with very thick grass. And the first few times I mowed it, I was like, maybe I should think about hiring him, but it's so expensive. I complained about shoveling, and I kind of laughed because we didn't have much snow this year till spring. And I do complain about shoveling because, you know, it's snow and it's cold. But it takes me about maybe 20 minutes to shovel. Maybe. And it takes me about, sorry, my computer's talking to me. It takes me about an hour and a half to do my lawn. And I was like, why do I hate shoveling so much? When It doesn't take me that long. All right, so this is going to go on there, and just make sure that those adhesive dots where they get put down. Got some dimensionals here on this label. Rhonda, you think you're watching the replay, but you are probably just behind us. Put that on there. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, if you guys could see this in like real life, in person, it would be gorgeous. I would love it if you could all come and stamp with me. So I'm just trimming up these. I like to do my ribbons at an angle. I should have cut it off. I should be using my ribbon scissors. Anyway, now the finishing touches. You get enough again to do 5 of these glimmery dots. I'm going to do 3 because I want, like I said, I want to hang on to a few in the hopes that I can use them on another card. Isn't it beautiful? That gold is gorgeous. And I think that if you flip those around, which I'm going to do when I make these cards, that gold in the flower, and just have the gold be in the background. But with that envelope, who wouldn't love to get a card like that? And just a note is awesome because you can send it to anybody for anything. All right. So we're going to go back to this one. This is where I'm going to wing it. So I just pulled out some cardstock and I guess some cardstock. I'm going to cut this apart. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4, which is the halfway point. That's the score line of the card. You have to use the cutter, not the scorer. All right, so now you're thinking, why did she cut that off? So I'm going to use this for, oh wait, here. I'm going to use a piece of, I don't know if you guys have used the thick basic white, but however, yeah, I just kind of have gotten into it the last month or so. It's awesome. It's and it's nice and heavy duty. So I just made a card base. I cut it in half and score it. I'm going to take the card I cut off. I could actually trim that off, but I'm just going to attach it right to the front of this and make it a card. So it'll just be attached. And actually, I'm not going to use those. I'll use this if there's some in it. I'm not going to use the glue dots because I really want this to stick. I don't know if I have enough adhesive in here. I mean, I do. I really want this to stick. So I would use either the multi-purpose or the Stampin' Seal. I'm going to line up corner to corner here, corner to corner there, and add it. And so there's my card. It's just as pretty. Inside is empty, but I have this piece that I can play with. So we're going to do some things with this piece. I'm going to cut off this to 4. I'm going to save this too because you just never know. And then I'm going to cut this one off to 5 1/4. And then I'm going to come in with a piece to make a decision here. Do I want to use, well, that's Cool Party. I think I could use Blackberry Bliss. I just pulled out some cardstock that I had sitting around. So on this one, you could actually do a base. 5 1/4, score it. I'm not sure I'm going to do this. I haven't decided yet. So you could do a card base like that and then add this on top of there. Makes that Blackberry Bliss pop. It's really pretty. I like that. I was going to do it on a piece of thick, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to attach this onto here. Okay. I'm going to take a piece. I have a scrap here, a half a sheet of basic white, which I'm going to cut at 4. 4, 5 1/4. That's going to go on the inside, but I might take this piece just for the fun of it and add it onto that. Use up your scraps and decorate the inside of your cards because it makes them look pretty. And for some reason, I personally, so it's a little bit longer because I cut that down to 4 or 5 1/4. It looks good. Add this to the inside of my card. And now we're going to play. So I still have this piece, but it doesn't really have much to it. So I'm going to blow that off for now. Okay, so these are already stamped. I might do some hash marks. I set down this little stamping spot, and then I start looking around my table because I can't find it. We'll do some hash marks here. And maybe here, but I'm going to, so it's a little bit lighter. So I double stamped it to make it lighter. I'm going to add 6. I think I'm going to do the ribbon, but I might do it this way, just for the fun of it. And I think I'm going to use, do I want that one? Yeah, I do. I want that one. And I want it to say just a note. So you can take these kits and make them your own. You can do exactly how they've done it, which they'll be beautiful every time. Or you can take the kit and do some creative adjustments. Play with it. I just love this particular kit. Oh, I want to do my ribbon. I just love this particular kit to do extra cards with because I hate to see the back of that card, not wasted, but you know what I mean. All right. So we're going to put that ribbon on there. We're going to give it a little fold at the middle. We'll loop at the top. We're going to put a dimensional on this end. We're going to put a dimensional on this end, and that should hold your ribbon. And then I'm going to add another dimensional here and here, just so that that label doesn't bend or get folded. I'm going to add this to the front of my card. I'm going to trim off my corners here. Trim this one. Maybe. I don't want to get my fingers in there before I cut them. There we go. And then because I was stingy on those other cards with these gems, I got gems that I can use on this card. And anytime you add a gem to a card, it just kicks it up a notch. So there we have it. So I took this card, cut it off, and made a totally different card with a little bit of cardstock. And I'm guessing that by the time I finish this kit, they'll all probably look totally different. Yeah, I love it. It's a beautiful kit. It's one of the most beautiful kits that I have seen recently. I do love kits. The scrapbook kit is cute too. You know, with kids out of school, that might be kind of fun for them to do a little scrapbook and a journal for their summer. So, and then we have your envelopes. So wait till you see what I do with it when I post it up on my website. All right, anybody have any questions? I have a couple of things. I don't want to lose anything. I was cleaning my stamp room, so that's what I do these days is I clean and rearrange, and I found 2 kits from April. These were kits that I did up 4 Aprils, people that ordered from me, and they got the Unbounded Designer Series paper. And the reason that they got this paper was because at that time, the Designer Series paper for the in colors was out of stock. So we changed up the paper. They got a sampling of each ribbon. They got some gems, sparkle gems. They got the cardstock in all the various colors to make cards. I have a tutorial for it that I will send people. So I'm going to actually mail these off to people. So if you're interested in either one of these kits, put it in the comments that you're interested in the kit. And then when I get them all the comments are in there. One kit will go for tonight's guests that are here. And one kit will go in the replay when I get it up on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube when I leave here tonight. But when that happens, then I'll give another kit away at the end of the weekend to somebody that comments, I'd love a kit, or something similar. I will send that kit to you. And then I will also probably contact you to get your email address so that I can mail it out to you. I'll put the winners on my blog where this particular video will stay. It will be hosted there, and I'll just put whoever won in the, I'll edit it and put in there. And then if I don't have your address, I'll send it. I'll ask for it. If I do have your address, that's great. So if there's no more questions, tonight's giveaways, 2 kits, one kit tonight, 1 kit over the weekend, and then the Father's Day stamp set from the paper pumpkin for this month. Perfect, Jana. I hope that everybody does put up there they'd love a kit. Anybody have any questions? What did I forget? Anything? Bueller, you know, it was like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yesterday, I think, was the anniversary. How many years? Was it like 40? Talk about feeling old. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, go watch it. It's funny. All right. I am going to be done here in just a couple minutes. So, let me know if you have any questions. Put a comment in there about one you'd love a kit, and I will draw from those people. Oh, I suppose I could come back on. I always forget that part. I have to change my settings. Anyway, if there's no more questions, I'm going to say goodnight. I'll be on next Thursday, and I actually think I'm going to be on most of the summer because I don't have a lot going on now. I don't have any trips planned. I stay home for most of the summer because I got to keep my gardens going and my flowers, and we do a big 4th of July thing here in Red Lodge, and summer in Red Lodge is like really fun. There's always something going on. So my next trip isn't until September. So I will be on every week on Thursday nights at 7 live. And if you have any questions, let me know. Take care, everybody. Put your comments up there before I close her out. All right. Have a great night. Thank you.